So today we're going to be making our tessellation. So we're going to take our square. Now remember, it doesn't have to be a square. We're just going to use a basic shape today. If you remember what we discussed when we watched the PowerPoint, a tessellation just needs to make sure that the vertices all add up to 360 degrees. So we can use different shapes as long as those vertices add up to 360 degrees. But we're going to do it today with a square. And we talked about using our formations rules where we do slides and things like that. So that's what we're going to use today. You can do any shape that you want. I'm just going to kind of just wing it here and make a shape and see what we come up with. So I'm going to draw this. And then remember, I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to slide it down to the other side. You can slide it or you can rotate it to the other side, to one of the other sides, but I'm going to choose to slide it down to the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this here. Alright, now that I have that cut out, I'm going to slide it down and I'm going to tape it. We're going to tape it right here. Alright, now I'm going to make another design on this side. Let's go for... There we go. I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to slide it to the other side. And as you start to draw this and slide it around, you can kind of decide what your shape's going to look like later. You can make it a fish, you can make it some kind of monster, you can make it a butterfly, whatever you think it looks like when you get finished. And that way when you make it your tessellation, then you can just have that shape everywhere. Okay, let's line it up with our edges here, and then I'm going to tape it again. Okay, so there's my shape. So I'm going to take my blank sheet of paper and I'm going to center it. I'm going to try to think of what I want this shape to be. Let's just center it here and then we'll trace it onto the paper. And then as you can see, as we trace it, we'll start to be able to put it in itself and tessellate it, and then it will become something else later. Now you can get really complex with some of these, and we're just going to go for the basic shape today. I don't want to get into the complex shapes because they can get really difficult. We just want to do a basic tessellation today. Okay, so as we trace it onto the paper, then here in just a second we will fit it into itself and trace it again as we keep rotating it and flipping it. Then we'll have our shape and it'll tessellate into itself. Okay, so we have that shape on there. Flip the paper around. And I'm going to choose to tessellate it this way. So all I did was turn it around. I'll draw it again. So you just keep doing this and fitting it into itself. And we'll tessellate it all over the page. There you go, and you can just keep going around and around and all through the page, and then you'll eventually have tessellated the whole shape, and it'll just fit into itself. And it's okay if it goes off the paper, as long as you can still trace it. See how mine's going to come off the paper some? That's okay. You can still just trace part of it, and you'll just have part of the shape, but it still should always fit into itself. And you can determine what it can be. You can turn it around, try to think. I think I might make mine like a scary ghost. Here's his eyes. And there's his mouth. See how I can use that at his arms, and he's kind of floating around, and then I'll just color it, and I'll have scary ghosts all over my page, and that's how you tessellate.